These 16 hacks will help you capture more customers on any day in the life of your business. And you can nail all 16 of them without leaving your pricing page editor. All your buyers will eventually have to go through this page, which is also why big software companies like GitHub and Slack put so much thought into every detail of their pricing pages. So hang in, because each of these 16 business hacks is followed by examples from some of our industry's most skillfully optimized pricing pages. And if you stick with me to the end, the last tip, tip number 16, is the most underrated tip in the book, designed to make your prices look more agreeable without you needing to reduce the amount you charge. But before I dive in, I have a personal request. We put tons of effort into research and providing useful insights. So hit the subscribe button. It helps us keep our channel going, and tap the bell icon if you want to get a notification once we release our next video. Ready? Tip number 1. Clear your pricing page of unnecessary distractions and make sure the page directs them nowhere other than the checkout. Now, you don't want people to feel uncomfortably restricted, so it's a good practice to include as much of the important info they'll be looking for inside the page. If you have to put links on the page, just make sure they don't distract the customer from making the purchase. Number 2, carefully craft your power copy heading and value proposition. Ensure visitors understand exactly what they're paying for. Like on this page by WP Full Pay. Their product is a payment gateway integration plugin, and the heading conveys both the solution and the value of using it in just 4 words, which is starting to accept payments, making it sound easy and urgent by ending the sentence with today. Also notice that the subheader reads, "Join over 7,000 customers worldwide," adding some social proof to the copy's credibility. Tip number 3 is to include a list of problems your product can solve, like in this section of WP Rocket's pricing page. Because this still won't be enough for some people, consider tip number 4, featuring a frequently asked questions section answering crucial purchase-related and product-specific questions based on your most common user queries. And tip number 5, featuring a live chat box with a real, responsive human on the other end. Including a chat option can really bump up your conversion rate if you make sure to reply quickly, because the longer it takes, the more likely your visitors are to search for an alternative. Once you've made sure visitors understand the solution you're offering, my 6th tip is to make sure your call to action shines like on this page by Stackable. Stackable have highlighted the Buy Now buttons with a neon tone of magenta situated on a dark black background, so users know exactly what they need to do next. Tip number 7. Display social proof as a way of signaling to visitors that you are a trusted company. Show a count of how many people are using your solution, what your rating is on different platforms, or feature your most popular users' logos. And better yet, feature reviews of satisfied customers that highlight your big advantages or address the most common concerns users have with your product. And you get extra points if you can feature a testimonial written by a well-known figure in the space you are catering to. Tip number 8 is about offering a time-limited, no questions asked money-back guarantee by featuring a badge like this one on your page. Looking at some of these high-converting pricing pages, notice how the badges are placed above the pricing section to reassure visitors they can change their mind if something goes wrong. And they do this before they scroll down and actually process how much the product costs. And before I jump into how you can display your prices to make them more appealing, don't skip tips number 9 and number 10. Supporting as many payment methods as possible, featuring the logos of those supported, and giving users the option of paying in their native currency, preferably suggested automatically based on their geolocation. Not only will this make for an awesome buying experience, it should also boost your conversion rates by extending your reach to a more global market. Tip number 11 is about the pricing plans themselves, and it's a tricky one. Because buyers have a comparing mind, if they have no source of comparison on your page, they're far more likely to abandon it altogether. So not only do you need to show customers what each of your plans offers, and for how much, you'll also have to anchor them to the plan that's probably going to be the most beneficial to them and the most profitable to you as a business. Let me show you how it's done. Notice how Melipress highlights the plan for businesses with an enlarged white background, an orange pinkish Get Started button, and highlighting the best value in blue above the title. Another way of doing this is by tailoring plans to different personas, like in this page by Unlimited Elements. This is effective because most people like to see themselves as professionals. That's why labeling the lower tier as a plan for beginners will help drive some people up to the higher tier. Now, when it comes to the prices themselves, check out this page by Sure Feedback. Setting the price of your preferred plan only slightly higher than the lower tier plan makes it seem like a minor price bump compared to the awesome features they unleash in return. This is a very common practice. Another common practice is to offer a third significantly higher 3-digit price point. If you do offer a higher tier, offering a sky-high price for that plan can anchor visitors to your preferred plan by making it look like a bargain in comparison. And this page is a good example for one more practice. If you're aiming to convert bigger clients, such as agencies and enterprises, consider offering a plan for larger companies priced much higher than the other plans and include features tailored to buyers with bigger budgets, like the enterprise plan on this page. This pricing technique works due to a phenomenon called cognitive bias, a psychological tendency that helps us filter out the irrelevant option and gravitate towards the reasonable price point. Business hack number 12, 13, 14, and the mega tip number 16 are all about that. But before I jump to number 12, I want to draw your attention to one drawback in the WP White Security page. By offering a plan with unlimited websites, WP White Security puts a cap on the price they can ask from a single big customer. To maintain the flexibility of charging bigger clients more according to their demand, it's best not to put a cap on the prices for unlimited plans, and instead include a dedicated Contact Us option for bigger customers. Tip number 12 is, do not underestimate the visual power of numbers. 3 digits will always look way bigger and bloated than 2, even if it's just a $1 difference. And for some reason, certain numerical symbols are simply more attractive than others, making certain prices more appealing than others. Yes, I am talking about the number 9. Believe it or not, the power of 9 has been proven in this study by MIT and the University of Chicago. Simply put, consider reducing your big round numbers by $1 so that they end with a 9. Tips 13 and 14 are dedicated to your last resort. Can you guess what it is? Tip number 13. When visitors scroll down all the way to the end of your page and all your efforts to convert them have failed, consider offering a free version if you don't already offer one, or a more heavily discounted promo for the pro version, aiming to convert visitors who haven't taken action yet. And number 14. For visitors who are just about to exit your site, consider programmatically triggering an exit intent pop-up, offering them a special discount code if they purchase your product within a limited amount of time. Now, this is where my one before last, but not least effective tip can do its magic. Tip number 15 is all about generating urgency. And the best way to generate urgency is by occasionally offering time-limited discounts. Now, this is a tricky one because you could run into legal trouble if you don't do it correctly. For example, fake accounts, aka discounts that appear on your website constantly no matter when entered, are illegal in several countries, including the EU. So if you're unsure, it's better to get proper legal advice before applying this practice. Having said that, offering time-limited discounts on your products can generate the added bit of urgency people need to hit the buy button. Consider that generating scarcity won't do much to convince users who are still reluctant to go with your product, but it can definitely urge the buyers who are already convinced not to postpone the purchase. Technically speaking, urgency can be generated by triggering a discount banner seconds after visitors arrive on your page, and grabbing their attention by sticking it to the top of your page so they see it no matter how far down they've scrolled. It's also a good idea to include some original copy or a creative coupon code to emphasize that this is a unique, time-limited offer. But before I mention tip number 16, please note that creating a high-converting pricing page is all a matter of integrating these practices into one seamless page structure. To save time and resources optimizing your pricing page, consider downloading our Pricing Page Anatomy PDF, graphically displaying all the recommended practices in a user-friendly way. Just check out the link I put in the description below, and without further ado, tip number 16. Present an option of choosing between annual versus monthly billing. This underrated practice is a conversion boost no matter how you look at it. First, because monthly prices displayed by default look much cheaper. And though even if the annual price is around $990, a price tag of $99 per month is way more digestible at a first glance. Notice how SEMrush has reinforced this practice by mentioning customers save up to 17% when paying annually over monthly. This is the second advantage of this practice, getting customers to commit to paying you for a full year by making your annual plan an obvious money saver for the financial savvy buyer. Then, if you decide to apply this practice, Don't miss the opportunity of showing the annual prices in monthly increments too, helping the buyer compare the two options and maintaining the charm of small numbers. Did I not mention a significant pricing page practice that works for you? Do you have a favorite pricing page hack that bumps up your sales? Let me know how these tips and practices impact your conversion rate. And please share a story of what you learned and how you learned it in the comments below. If you found this information useful, you're gonna love this video of how big software companies like Google and Slack convert more users into paying customers. And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon to get notifications on future releases. See you next time.